Well, what a story for this fella in Northern Ireland a couple of weeks ago. Mark King, after 25 years as a pro, finally came out as the main man on top. Mark, I've been looking forward to talking to you about this. What a story. And in a funny kind of way, is it still sort of sinking in?
Yes, it's still quite, surreal. And the only real way I can explain it is I've got it on tape at home and I've watched it 2 or 3 times, because sometimes I wake up and I think, is it a dream? Did it happen? And I can safely say, no, it definitely happened. And it's something that I've always dreamed about. Just winning an event for a start, but having the family there at the end was, just magical, and no one could ever take that memory and them few seconds away from me ever. So superb, absolutely fantastic.
And what I really want to know is, as you progressed in the match, how did you manage to keep your emotions under control, especially in that last frame where you started to think, I can actually do this? Or did you force yourself to block that out?
Well, to be honest with you, when I potted the last red, I nearly cried, and then I potted the black to get on the yellow. I nearly cried, but I said to myself, look, you got to hold your emotions in here. Barry only needs 2 snookers, which has happened a hell of a lot of times in snooker. So I thought, hold yourself together. But then once I potted the green, I knew I'd won, and then every shot after that, it was pretty much hold the tears in. And then I think I literally, when I got down for the pink, I literally nearly fell over, and the tears were literally coming down when I said, thanks to Barry. And when the family come out, it just all erupted, and it was most major. Still get goosebumps now thinking about it. But it was absolutely fantastic. And
I think one of the elements of your story that people really relate to is the fact that you've always been, and you were on that night, so honest. And you said, listen, things have been hard, things haven't been great, and I think people can really relate to that. Someone who's not spinning a load of tosh. You were speaking from the heart.
Yeah, absolutely. As I said before, things have been tough. I've earned half decent money, but when I was earning good money, I was gambling, compulsively, and didn't take care of my money. So then now, sort of, when I'm earning money, obviously with 3 kids and a big mortgage, you're fighting all the time. So, some people say, oh, you got a cheque for 10 grand, you'll be all right. But that 10 grand literally pays off the couple of months, 2 or 3 months mortgage behind, and the gas, electric, and then all of a sudden you're back to square one again. So then to get, a £70,000 prize is for me life changing, because now I'm not saying we can live on easy street, but all the missus ever wants is enough to get some shopping each week and have her hair done once a month, and that's all she's ever asked for. And she's been an absolute diamond, as I said before, and now we're just going to tighten our belts up, hopefully earn some more money and get some more wins, and hopefully we'll never ever be in that situation again.
I had breakfast with your dad this morning up here in York, and he was saying that many times he reiterated to you, he said, listen, Mark, one day you can win a tournament. So what was that moment like when you got him on the phone, and then when you came back to the UK and you gave him a big bear hug and said, look what I've got? Yeah. I mean, as I said, Dad's been there from day dot, and he's never ever doubted my ability in any way, shape or form. And he's always said, you can do it, you can beat your Ronnies and your Higgins. When you play well, you can do it, and he's always pumped me up. And obviously when years ago when I was gambling, I didn't really take much notice, because I didn't really care, in all fairness. I wasn't a very nice person then, but now to get that over the line. And listen, my dad's 83, he looks about 50, bless him, and it's just nice that he has actually seen that what I've dreamed of, and obviously he's dreamed of, that actually happened. And obviously without him, that night would never ever have happened. And obviously the hugging and then me and him with the trophy, was just something that I'm going to have that framed and put up in my house, because without Dad, as I said, wouldn't have happened. And the other nice thing that's happened is you've had people who are struggling with gambling addiction send you emails, and you've been able to give them some pointers as to how you've overcome things. So, that's, in a funny kind of way, that's quite humbling that they're turning to you for support, because they've seen you as a person with enough strength to overcome those difficulties. Yeah,
it's actually a bit like a therapy in itself. When someone sends you an email and says, look, really well done, but I'm actually struggling with my gambling. How do you go about blah, blah, blah? And just basically tell them the simple steps of basically going to a GA meeting, admitting that you can never gamble again and that sort of stuff. Give your finances over. It's pretty straightforward. If you listen and you do as you're told in the GA meetings, then the only person that can let yourself down is yourself. Do you know what I mean? But it's difficult. It's not easy. But if you really want it, if you really want it, that GA is the only place to go.
Okay, great story. Let's have a little bit of fun. We'd like you to reenact this shot because this was absolutely epic. I remember Neil Foulds was saying in commentary it was one of the strangest scenarios that he'd ever seen. But how on earth were you able to get that pink so close to the black without knocking it in the penultimate frame?
Just probably one of the best shots I've ever played in my life, to be fair. In all fairness, one in 1,000 that shot would happen, but where the black was so close to the white, I just thought there is a possibility that could happen, and obviously to do it and then just to miss out on the re-spotted black to the bump was like, oh my god. But just so over the moon that I got the win in the end.
Right, okay, now that the trophy's in the bag, let's go for this. Let's see you go for this shot again.
Right, this is going to go absolutely nowhere near it.
Well, it's not bad. It's heading in the right direction.
Yeah, the table's very poor. I don't know who fitted this table. Yeah, great.
Well, he did it when he counted. Thanks very much for talking to us, Mark. It's a brilliant story, and long may we see you and your dad continuing on the circuit.
Thank you.
Cheers,
Rob. Thanks a lot, mate.